And we're live.
And we are live.
Wait, I need to stop working. I'm walking, I mean.
Yeah,
I can't believe you didn't tell me to stop walking.
Where's our music?
Oh my gosh.
It was like 3 seconds ago that I asked you. Hey everyone, welcome to our webinar. We will start momentarily. In the meantime, we'll entertain you.
Makes me want to go to Germany.
Man, this is like techno. We need some like gunshots in the background of this.
Hang on.
Why can't I see how many people are here? We have like what?
I was just about to ask that.
1,700?
1,400 people. Look in the left top corner of the
left top corner. I don't see it. Do you see it?
Yeah.
No doubt, the best in the game, they're here to knock you out. Coding wizards at work, building websites like a breeze. Streamlining transactions with their cutting edge expertise. From shopping carts to secure payments.
Oh my God.
We got it locked. coreFORCE, e-commerce solution.
Dad, you just sent a message in the private chat, not the comments.
Oh.
Brian says there's 29 watching.
Oh, there's a lot more.
Yeah, there's
wow,
a lot
we got all. You know, it's. How did you sell this webinar? Because it looks like it's all of our customers that already have coreFORCE. Maybe a big yawn for them.
Yeah, we got Mad Dog, Douglas, Brian. Actually, Douglas, do you have coreFORCE? I think we need some ecstasy.
We agree. Hey, by the way, everyone, so that horrible song, which it's pretty wild, but that's completely created by AI. Josh, what would you say it to, or was this one that you created, Joel?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It
took you what? How many seconds did it take you to create this music? Amazing music.
When you told me, where's the music? And then I started playing. So what was that? A minute and a half?
Oh my gosh. AI. I know this is not an AI webinar, but it's hard to escape the topic. So yeah, it's good to see everyone. Thank you for joining. And let me set the stage. And first, let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. Depends on the day, I guess, is my tagline right now. I'm Ezra Weinstein. I'm the CEO of Coreware. And thank you for joining our webinar. Josh, Joel, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name is Joel Cheney. I am the VP of Communications. That's why I'm so good at talking to you guys. Literally. I just talk to you guys.
You are.
Hey, and we're glad to have you here today. This is going to be an exciting webinar. Ezra has been chomping at the bit to do this. He's been sending me messages all week long saying, hey, this is going to be one of the best webinars we've ever done. So you guys strap in and get ready for this.
No pressure,
I should
right?
have gone first.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh. Try to beat that.
I'm Josh. I'm Josh. I'm obligated to be here considering I'm blood related to the owner. And I'm the director of sales. So that's about it.
Cool. You don't have anything else to add, huh, Josh?
To be honest, I was thrown into this like an hour before it happened. So
yeah, I added you for
I got to roll with. Yeah, I have to roll with the punches that are going to be thrown at me. So
That is
All
awesome.
right. So, yeah, no, thank you everyone for joining. And just to set the stage, because, you know, for me, I think some of you, several of you know me and have heard me talk. One of the most valuable commodities on earth is time. So I first want to make sure we set the stage for what we're going to cover, because we don't want to waste your time. And I'm pretty excited to do this. We are basically today going to go from kind of A to Z in terms of introducing coreFORCE. We will have and reserve time for Q&A. You know, you can start chatting your questions. I do ask Joel and Josh if there are any questions that you think everyone else will benefit from. You know, let's make sure we either you can still respond, but let's make sure we somehow highlight those or put them up on the screen. And again, typical Ezra, I'm not following a specific script. If you feel like you want to interrupt me and so I can answer a question that maybe is related to what we're looking through, you know, just let me know. So first and foremost, we are going to assume that we do have audience members that potentially know nothing about Coreware and know nothing about coreFORCE. But again, if you want to stick around and you are a coreFORCE user and you're just trying to find out where things are heading towards and some of the exciting things that we've added recently or looking to add very soon, we will cover that too. So we absolutely welcome existing users, new potential customers that maybe are using some of our other solutions as well. So just to introduce Coreware, Coreware specializes in the regulated industries. We're hyper-focused on the shooting industry. I spent almost 2 decades working for the largest wholesaler, Sport South. I was their VP of technology, and in 2019, I decided, actually, it was back in 2018, but 2019 is when I departed Sport South, and Coreware was my full-time focus. Since 2019, we started by introducing coreFORCE as a web platform for the firearms industry, which is what coreFORCE is focused on. We've got 3 other platforms that go hand in hand with coreFORCE. coreSTORE is our retail point of sale solution that has evolved to really a solution not just for retailers. We've got several manufacturers that use coreSTORE for order processing, fulfillment, inventory control, assemblies, work orders. You know, it has a lot of features, definitely not what we're covering today. And then we've got 2 other platforms. One of them is extremely important, I think, for this conversation, which is coreILLA. coreILLA is our marketing platform. If you have a website, you want to make sure you have a good marketing strategy. If you intend to grow that site and you want to make sure that the site is receiving orders and not just sitting there as just a landing page to find you from Google, right? There's a big distinction between those two. So we have our own marketing platform. Whether you use ours or you use something else, it's important when you look at setting up any website. It's really important that part of your strategy, part of your budgeting is making sure that you've got a marketing, and we call it a platform because it's not just about emailing, right? It goes a lot deeper these days. And the beauty is you don't need an agency to do a lot of the work that you used to have an agency to do that work. But you can really take ownership and control of your marketing of your website. The first step that I tell customers is you want to make sure you have a web presence. You know, that's the most important thing. And then the final platform, which is threaded through all of our other platforms, is certainly our merchant processing. And again, for us, the merchant processing, it's a no-brainer. The reason why we offer it is because obviously there's banking challenges in this industry. We keep hearing stories. It's an ongoing battle. And there are several different processing solutions out there that are firearms friendly. For us, since it's a part of our business and not the entire focus of our business, we're able to offer the lowest cost merchant processing out there. It's very transparent in terms of what your cost is, and we have a couple of options, when it comes to selecting the merchant processing. So those are our 4 platforms that Coreware offers. And today we're going to jump into looking at coreFORCE. And what my goal is to really explain a little bit about what coreFORCE offers and why we have different editions. And I definitely want to make sure everyone understands the difference between the editions in terms of functionality and in terms of what fits, right? Because within the firearms industry, you can't just say, hey, we have a website solution for the firearms industry, right? The firearms industry is very much divided into various industries within the firearms industry. So a gun store is very different than a gun range, right? If you're a gunsmith or a manufacturer, you need to look at finding a solution that literally not just fits your industry, but fits your actual business and what your business offers. So that's extremely important. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so coreFORCE is really, from almost day one, we very much focus the coreFORCE platform on the firearms industry. So again, there's a lot of e-commerce solutions out there. We all know some of them are not at all friendly to the gun industry. So, you can't sell firearms or sell even ammunition on a Shopify site. So that it immediately eliminates them as an e-commerce solution. But there are solutions that you can use, and several of you use. They're what I would call purpose-built solutions, which may include some of our, what's considered competitors, whether it's Ammo Ready or Gearfire. There's a few others. And then there's general e-commerce platforms that you can absolutely use. We have customers that use them. So some of those include WooCommerce, which is WordPress. Not a big fan, just to be straightforward about that. But there are good solutions. If you really, I think with any solution, it's not just about the solution, it's about the company that's helping you implement it. And we certainly have some partners that do a great job in terms of WooCommerce. There's BigCommerce. We've got some customers that are using BigCommerce. So it's important to know what else is out there, right? And I'm never shy about just mentioning those. And everyone has pros and everyone has cons. That's the most important thing. And a lot of times it's really about making sure that you feel comfortable with whoever you're working with, because at the end of the day, as long as that solution is satisfying your specific needs, it doesn't matter what you're using from a website. It's not going to, a lot of times it's not going to make you more successful or less successful. And what I mean by that is I tend to minimize the importance of the platform, especially for a website. What I do like to focus on is, depending on your goals and what you're trying to achieve, we have some extremely successful website operators. And I'd love to take all the credit, but the way I like to compare it to is, for us, we created this race car. And again, you could have a good driver or you could have a bad driver. I think is the way I like to describe it. And we have some extremely, extremely good drivers that know a ton more about how to be successful online than I do. And they've proven it over the years, and they took our race car and they are driving it to the extreme. It's got a lot of horsepower, and they're maximizing that horsepower, and they're, you know, taking the curves carefully, but you know, they're literally winning that race. So it's really the driver, and they spend a lot of time perfecting those skills as a driver. And that's what's important. There is no solution out there that's going to magically get you traffic, that will magically get you sales. We've seen with our platform that we've seen increase in sales, you know, simply because, and I'll go through some of the reasons why that is, but part of that is because of what we offer from the coreFORCE platform. But again, it's really up to you. And if you're newer at the online game, you want to make sure you get into it with the proper expectations. Whatever your spend is on your website is going to be very minimal compared to what you need to spend to make that website successful. And what I mean by successful, look, you can have a website that's very successful, that's bringing you local business and bringing you incremental orders, right? So it's important, again, no matter what platform you're looking at, that you set your goal and expectations properly. If you're looking to take your website and truly make it into a separate business, which again, many of our customers do, and many are successful at it. They have successful brick and mortar stores, and they have very successful websites. They don't necessarily go hand in hand. And what I mean by that is we've got some successful retailers who are not necessarily, quote unquote, killing it online, but at the same time, that might not be their goal, right? So you have to set your goals, you have to set your expectations, and you have to set up your proper budget. And your budget, you know, it's going to exceed, in order, if you are treating this as a separate business, just like taking a retail store and paying a lease and paying your marketing costs and paying your employees, it's no different. A website successful business is no different. You need resources. You need to spend money on marketing. You need to make sure that you're investing properly in order to be successful. And that's really important. Let me just pause right here because I know it's pretty quiet on my end, and I want to make sure that I'm coming across and everything is making sense and there's no questions at this point.
Yeah, no general questions as of yet.
Okay.
And yeah, everything seems to be audio and visual wise, everything's smooth and sound.
Awesome. So I'd like to start with just generally speaking about the coreFORCE platform, because basically when you look at the coreFORCE platform, and I'll just jump right in, right? We have 4 editions. And what I want to emphasize, and it's not obvious, but these 4 editions are running on the same engine. And it is an engine that we've been perfecting over the years, and it keeps getting better and it keeps expanding in terms of functionality. So if you're new, a lot of our customers ask, well, Ezra, where should we start, right? And what I'd like to do is help you, you know, make that that quick decision in terms of how do I choose what edition. So first and foremost, it's what's important is when you're looking at coreFORCE, you can move, right? You can always move up, you can always move down. In terms of with Coreware, we don't stick you anywhere. We don't believe in long-term contracts. We don't hold our customers hostage. We don't. We pride ourselves with the fact that our customers, you know, pay us monthly because we're doing a good job, and that's what we continuously strive to do, and that we strive to do it through 2 primary means. One is through excellent customer service, and again, we keep growing as a company, and so as we add customers, you know, we add more staff, and we keep improving upon our customer service practices, because for me, that's at the end of the day, if I can't provide good customer service, I will not retain customers. That's the bottom line, and that's true for any business, right? If you're running again, whether it's a website or if you're running a brick and mortar, you've got to offer excellent customer service. You know, at the end of the day, we all live and die by our reputation, right? So, that's what really carries you through. The second pillar for me, you know, in terms of really making sure that our customers, you know, are happy to keep paying us on a monthly basis, is improving products and really spending a lot of money on what some would consider research and development. But typically that research and development is really a lot of requests that come in from our very much large customer base that keeps growing, and we're extremely thankful for that. So we keep our ear to the ground. We listen to customers. We pay attention. You know, we're not always able to deliver things in a quick turnaround, but our products keep improving, features keep getting enhanced, and we keep adding more and more functionality. And we do it at a pretty fast pace, which sometimes is a little dizzying. And but at the end of the day, the goal is just to give you the tools that you need to be successful. So in terms of you know, our plans, you know, we do have a starter plan, and that starter, basic, and standard, they're all very similar. So I mentioned it's the same platform, the same engine. So think about the same race car, right? But on top of that race car, the difference between the advanced edition and the enterprise edition is we have a whole lot more features. And you know, if you think about, all right, you know, you've got that race car sitting there, well, you know, you can add things. And Josh, you may need to help me, I don't talk cars really well, but you know, when you're looking to really boost up the engine and, you know, add the turbocharge, that's one of the reasons you want to look at the advanced edition. The advanced edition.
I'm impressed by the turbocharger. Dad, Mr. Tesla, I didn't know you knew what that was.
Well, I've only been driving a Tesla since 2013. So yeah, go ahead.
Hey, that's still long enough to forget. We do have a question from Eric Alexander, since I'm butting in anyways. He wants to know which one of these versions, least expensive, will calculate sales tax on shipping, since Lite does not calculate tax on shipping.
So actually, tax on, you mean tax on the order? I'm a little confused by the tax on shipping. I just want to make sure I understand the question. I assume which one will calculate sales tax is the short end, is the question, right? Okay, so all the editions calculate sales tax. And you can manually load so let me just explain the sales tax issue again. This is also, our webinars always become a little educational. So as a small retailer selling online, or a small business selling online, you know, maybe you're not a retailer, right? You don't need to worry about sales tax outside of your state till you hit what's called Nexus, right? So you can sell online without charging tax outside of your state. And Nexus varies by state. So Nexus is a term that simply means when you reach a certain threshold of sales, you are obligated to pay taxes for that state. And each state has different Nexus rules. Some states don't have Nexus, right? So the bottom line is first and foremost, you all have accountants, I hope. If you're in business, you should have a CPA. You can double check with them. But most of the states that have Nexus, it's six figures, right? Meaning $100,000, $200,000 of sales is when you're starting to worry about Nexus, right? And at that point, the best idea, when you're reaching Nexus and you're concerned about sales tax, is it's best for you to use a solution like Avalara. So one of our announcements today is we are fully integrated into Avalara. It's a third-party sales tax solution. We were integrated and still are integrated with TaxJar, but the problem with TaxJar is twofold. So the first problem with TaxJar is TaxJar, a few months ago, maybe a year ago, it hasn't been that long. I'm not good with dates, but Stripe purchased TaxJar. I mentioned the problem is twofold. One is Stripe has their own sales tax solution. So the writing is on the wall. I believe Stripe is simply going to basically eliminate TaxJar and just move all the customers to Stripe. The second part of that twofold problem is Stripe is, again, I won't use strong words today, but Stripe does not support our industry, right? So you can't get, if you're selling firearms, you can't use Stripe. So therefore, TaxJar is going to be gone sooner or later. And I'm glad this is being recorded. And hopefully a lot of our customers will hear me on this one. But I definitely suggest if you're using TaxJar, let us know and we'll put you in touch with Avalara. I assume they have an easy transition. Our integration is really good. But again, your sales tax solution for other states is absolutely to use a third-party solution that we integrate into. It becomes a no-brainer. So when your customer is ordering, basically when they put in their shipping address, we communicate with Avalara and they tell us, here's the tax that you should charge the customer. Totally worth it, right? And again, it's the cost of you doing business in other states. That's just something you need to put into your budget. Said, on the smaller side, right, if you just want to start selling locally and maybe you'll have a sale or two to other states, it takes 2 seconds to enter your sales tax amount. Literally, you just physically enter your sales tax rate, and it will charge sales tax to customers that put in a shipping address that's within your state. You also can upload sales tax files, and they come from Avalara, actually. So you can upload sales tax files for all the states, and we have an upload option. I believe, Josh, it's available in Starter, I think. Don't quote me on that. I sometimes,
it's available for all of the editions.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, start with Starter. What the Starter, what that doesn't give you is distributor integration. And this is the second part of what, to me, separates Coreware certainly from the generic e-commerce platforms, but also from our competitors. We integrate into the most distributors. And same thing on the retail side. We just putting out a press release, our background check. We have a background check solution that works within Chrome for every state out there. And we do that. We even assist for the states that do ammunition background checks. And my point of bringing those 2 points up is, we are very much all about offering very full featured solutions. Do we have every single bell and whistle that you'd ever want? Absolutely not. But by far, we are the most feature rich, even though our pricing tends to be lower than our competitors. So it's a simple business philosophy that I have. I believe that small businesses need the same types of feature sets that the big guys do. So we try to make all of the features that make sense, right, for a small business available in all of our editions. Now, again, when we talk about the advanced and enterprise, there are some features there, but most small businesses will never, ever utilize those features. And that's why we kind of put that, what's called a feature gate, in terms of some of those. But at the end of the day, back to the question, and we appreciate the question. The Starter is really good if you have a local store and you just want to feature your local inventory. Let me break the news here. It doesn't matter if you get coreFORCE, Ammo Ready, Gearfire, and if you're doing it with the thought that, hey, I'm suddenly going to get orders from all around the nation, just because I now have a website featuring 100,000, 200,000 items. Doesn't matter what the count is. I hate to break the news, but that's not going to happen. So we probably lost most of our audience at this point. But I can tell you that we do have in our audience some existing customers, and they work their asses off to, to make that happen. So we give you the tool to make it happen, but it takes a lot of work. You've got a collective of 2,000 to 3,000 sites, all featuring the same items from the same distributors. So point number one is don't go in with the expectation that you're going to turn your website on and suddenly orders will start flowing through. If you're using one of our competitors, don't come to us thinking that suddenly you're going to start getting more orders. Please come to us if you're looking for a good solid solution and you're looking for maybe more features and you're looking for more of an integrated experience. Great. Come on board. We'd love to have you, but don't come with the expectation that you get our platform and suddenly we get more orders. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but typically that does happen if you're already successful online. And the reason why that happens is because we do have more features that you can leverage to increase, your number of orders. But at the end of the day, if you're not actively marketing and you don't have an active audience, jumping between systems is not going to help. Now, maybe jumping to a system that offers you some services, right? That absolutely can help. And there's companies that do that, right? That do offer some of those services. I would be a little careful, in terms of make sure you vet companies out, make sure you contact references. That's, to me, number one. Let me talk to, you don't need a ton, but let me talk to 3 customers, right, of yours that maybe have been using a system for a while. No matter, again, I'm just speaking objectively, no matter what system you're looking at, it's a good idea to do. So the starter doesn't have distributor feeds. You can always add it later. Again, the distributor feeds, to me, it's really nice. Again, if you're looking to build a really successful and you're focused on it and you're going to spend money on marketing, absolutely get the standard edition. And actually, Josh, we need to fix that. It's not 14 distributors. I think we're up to 18. And within the next few months,
Yes.
we'll be probably 20 plus. So,
and there's another one that will be reaching out to us that I haven't heard of, which is MSR, and they're really interested. So we're going to be talking to them as well.
Is Big Rock one of those?
Big Rock should be coming. I think we've got one of our customers that's helping us get through to them. Sometimes, just to let everyone know, the difficulty is just establishing the communication with a distributor. If you scroll down our homepage, we show you the distributors. Again, I think this 16. So we're still short a couple. Printful is not really a distributor, so we need to take that out. That's just an integration. Well, maybe they're a distributor. I don't even know what to call them. They do have a catalog. Yeah, kind of, sort of. They do offer, when we have customers using them, I think they're pretty happy with it. But if you want to offer swag, right, Printful is a good solution. So I guess we can maybe put a asterisk on them or something. But in terms of the shooting industry, these are our primary distributors that we integrate into. But we have added. Who did we add recently? That's not here. Crows.
Thought it was Iron Valley, but we just added them on that list.
Yeah. So I think we've got a couple more, and we are working actively on at least, I think, 2 or 3 more that should be, at least 1 or 2 of them should be right around the corner. Kinsey's is one of them, and there's a couple more. Countrywide is going to be another one, I think. So yeah, there'll be a couple more that are right around the corner.
Ezra, here's a
pretty
question.
Exciting. Yeah.
Kenneth says, I'm lost on the 4 to 14 distributors. What does that mean? I thought coreFORCE handled the distributor feeds.
We do. That's a really good question. So the only difference, in terms of it's so in terms of our pricing for the basic edition, you can choose up to 4 different distributors to integrate into, right? So again, if you're not currently doing a lot of business and you know your budget is you want to watch your budget, right? 4 distributors is plenty. You know, you can choose whatever 4, right? And looks like standard changed. Make sure advanced changes too, by the way. But so basically, with the standard edition, you can access all the distributors, right? So you can set it up to 18. Again, I think it's 18. I'm hoping that's the correct number. So that's the biggest difference between those. So again, basic edition just lets you set up 4 of them. That's plenty. Unless you have a specific need, or you feel, hey, you know, there's some distributors that I still want to feature because they have certain items that nobody else carries. So the price difference isn't huge. So it's totally up to you. You can always move up, right? I don't know if we've ever moved. It's kind of harder, I think, to move down, but I think it can be done. But does that make sense, Joel?
Yep, it does. Charles asked, what about the integrations with guns.com?
So we have we haven't announced it. We do have a working integration with guns.com, but it's through coreSTORE. And at this point, we are not committing to adding guns.com to coreFORCE. So basically anything in your coreSTORE as far as local inventory can be integrated into guns.com. Again, if you need that integration, again, we haven't quote unquote announced it, but we can turn it on for customers. So let us know. But again, it comes from coreSTORE. coreSTORE being that's where your local inventory lives, and that's what is transmitted to guns.com. I'm not sure if guns.com, I don't remember if they even allow distributor feeds. I don't think they do. I think the whole idea is they're sending you the label, right? So again, you can absolutely feature items. And this is probably a good thing if, I don't know if our customers that joined the webinar, if they left or if they're still around, but you know, I think we tantalized the webinar and said, hey, there's some exciting news. And there really is. I mean, Avalara integration is super exciting. Guns.com, Joel, I don't even know if you knew, but we do have it working, and we actually have a customer that's using it. One of our oldest customers has been using it for, I think it's been well over a month. It's part of a bigger launch of some features that we're super excited to release. And it's a big change to coreSTORE that we'll probably do a webinar next month to discuss the overall changes in coreSTORE that will really, I think, excite all of our existing customers and be really exciting for any prospects as well. So again, if guns.com is something that you need, if you're using coreSTORE, let us know. If you're only going to be using coreFORCE, don't sign up if you think that's coming, because that's not at all in our plan.
And we do have a special we're going to announce a little bit later, Ezra.
Okay, cool.
That's the big deal. That's really exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. So in terms of, you know, just talking about that, actually, let me not even go to that page yet, but just to finish up this discussion. So again, the starter, no distributors, basic standard, you just get, standard has all the distributors, basic has up to 4 distributors. So why would we look at the advanced edition, right? At this point, what does that really give me? And the answer is pretty straightforward. So on the surface level, if you're a range and you are doing classes and memberships as well as range reservations, even waivers, you know, you definitely need the advanced edition of coreFORCE. You can do memberships in the standard and basic edition through coreSTORE, but we don't have range reservation capability. We don't have the depth and breadth of membership management within coreSTORE. It's a little bit limited compared to what's in coreFORCE. So it's an easy decision point. So if you're in the audience and you have a gun range and you really want to provide a full experience in terms of being able to have a single solution, right, for running your entire range, that is where you want to look at advanced. And if you're a certain size, we move you to enterprise. So functionality wise, there's not a huge difference between advanced and enterprise. You do need to be on an enterprise plan if you've got a development group and you need access to APIs. And I'm probably losing half the audience when I start talking about that. But basically, that's one of the things that separates advanced from enterprise. And just to show you, like, here's our range demo store. Again, in terms of this happens to be, so from our standpoint, when we're looking at advanced or we're looking at a standard, basic, or starter website, they do look very similar. They do function in very much the same way. One of the differences, the way a user can tell, is actually the back-end administration. And I'll give you a glimpse of both just so you can see the differences. What I'd like to say about the Advanced and Enterprise Edition, it's not for the faint of heart. There is a lot to it. And even the basic and standard, we keep adding things. So that's becoming, there's a lot to it because we do have a lot of features. But you'll see on the front end in terms of this particular range demo store. And again, for ranges, just for those of you who are here that have a range, the largest range operator in the world has been using us since 2019. And they use us both in their store locations as well as online. That's Range USA. And they use us for managing their memberships, which, as you can imagine, is in the thousands and thousands. They do thousands of courses a year. Sig Sauer, the Academy. If you go to sigsaueracademy.com, that's another example of coreFORCE being used in a range environment. And
Are you still there, Josh?
easy decision point if you are still here.
Yeah, you
Dad, we lost you there.
You glitched out for like 15 seconds.
Oh, wow. I assume it's my internet.
Josh,
here, so
put the voodoo doll up. Now's not the time.
I am in New Orleans, Joel.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know if you all can hear the constant beat of the drums, but I think it's the jazz festival is starting. I think today actually. So there's a lot of.
I'm surprised your signal's getting out of there without being injured or shot. Oh, I'm just joking, everybody. Calm down.
Why don't you
so I don't know where
meet him, Joel?
Yeah, there you go. Well, I'm out of here at 5:15 in the morning tomorrow, heading to Lexington. So
got plenty of time.
So yeah, I've been on a whirlwind tour. But I don't know where did you all lose me? Do you either of you recall? Oh, okay. Yeah. So SIG is another SIG Academy, the 6 Hour Academy. That's another example of a full range that's using us for classes, memberships. And again, a lot of gun stores do classes, right? You can use the basic and standard edition to set up a class because you can set up the class as a non-stock item, right? Or you can set it up as a stock item and you can say, I have 20, right? Doing a couple classes a month. It's pretty easy to set up and feature those, right? And you can put, let's say you have 20 seats open for a CCL class. So you can actually set the quantity at 20. And every time someone places an order for one, that's your class registration, right? It absolutely can be utilized for that. It's an easy way. If you're a coreILLA user, coreILLA has some features too, right? Where you can actually run some classes. If you're a little bigger and you're doing a lot of classes, you've got multiple instructors, this is where you may want to jump to the advanced edition. Yes, it's a big jump, right, price wise, but it's a big functionality jump in terms of what you get. It's very much feature rich, and there's still more setup to do and more training, and you basically have. And the way I would compare it is, we've got this race car, but the advanced edition definitely has a lot more horsepower, right? So again, if you're just starting, you don't want a car that you can't control, right? Is that a good analogy, Josh?
I would say so.
Uh-oh.
What is a
Did you guys lose me
horsepower?
again? Oh, is Josh not listening?
I'm listening.
What
Can you
is a
guys hear
horsepower?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Ezra, I think it's your signal.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully this won't continue. This is annoying.
Blaming me that I'm not listening on your bad signal.
Well, because I asked you about horsepower and you didn't answer, so I figured you weren't paying attention.
Hey Ezra, if you wanna back out and come back in, see if that helps, because your audio is not synced up either to your video.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, Josh, do you want to answer a couple questions publicly, and I'll just try to hop back. I don't know if hopping in, hopping out will help, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, let's see. All right, so when it comes to the indexing issues with Google, David, you'll need to provide us with some more information on that. Just in general, what are you trying to do so that you can index with Google? In general, though, everyone has to realize that SEO is not a determined way to gain traffic in the industry. SEO is not, they are not in favor of us, especially with the long-term SEO giants like Buds, Academy, pretty much anyone in the industry that has their historical SEO. It's hard for anyone to get back on the top 5 pages of Google. The SEO that I recommend to all of my dealers is to focus on Google reviews. Those are going to be fantastic for local SEO. That way, if you have the most amount of Google reviews, the highest ratings in your area, as soon as someone Googles gun shops near me, gun ranges near me, need to buy a gun, or even just general items, you will pop up first. If you have the most, kind of the highest ratings in your Google My Business, you're going to do much better on that local SEO side of things. It's a little brief tidbit on SEO. And guys, if you have any more questions, please feel free to shoot them over. We can start talking to them as Dad's joining back and hopefully better signal.
Let's hope. So all the hype about 5G, I decided to see if the hype lives up to the performance. I'm on 5G. Am I better or worse?
Based on how fuzzy you are, I'm going to say worse, but you just hop back in, so I won't make assumptions.
Yeah, I'm worse. I'm gonna switch back.
Sorry about this, guys. I'm telling you, man, New Orleans is not even safe for a Wi-Fi signal.
Joel, what are some things that you would tell people to help? Oh, he's trying to join again. To help market their website.
Hey, there's 2 of them.
2's better than 1.
Yes,
That's true.
All right, I'm back. It is better. I mean, what is with 5G? I got five bars. I'm in a big city, and it sucks.
I have no idea.
5G is like one of the biggest scams our world has seen.
I think it is too. I think it is too. Along with birds. Birds aren't real.
Birds
All
are
right.
definitely not real.
Yeah, for sure. So I had stopped talking. I had mentioned the 6-Hour Academy, but again, a lot of, and I keep saying ranges, but a lot of gun stores offer classes. A lot of gun stores have memberships. Sometimes it's like buying group memberships. So that's where you can start looking at the advanced edition. Again, coreSTORE itself has built-in subscriptions, and coreSTORE does support selling those subscriptions in the standard, basic, and starter editions. So you don't have to jump to advanced, but that's the big difference from a front end standpoint, because on the advanced, we've got, everything from the memberships, range reservations. One of the exciting things, we just updated our range reservation page. This is actually our old one. But we just literally, I think this week is when it was released. That's why we haven't updated this site yet. But even a much cleaner and smoother experience for reserving lanes. Really excited about that. Streamline that process. But this basically gives you the idea on how the range reservations work. And then again, you can set up any number of classes and track attendance and track the instructors and provide various levels of pricing, and the list goes on and on. So from the front end standpoint, functionality wise, yes, you can do a lot of things with the basic standard and or starter basic standard editions. But when you're ready and your business has grown enough, or if you're already running a decent size range, you absolutely need to be in the advanced edition, right? So that's basically how we jump you in terms of that functionality, but also in terms of when you reach certain order levels, we'll probably reach out and let you know, hey, you're at the size where we need to start moving you, but we can also assure you that you can increase your business even more because the advanced edition has a ton more features. And am I coming across okay, guys, at this point?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic. I don't want to just keep talking. All right. So let me just real quick go into one of our standard editions, right? Or this might be basic. Again, no real big difference between those. But the nice thing with the basic and starter editions, we've got, I don't know, over a dozen, I think, different templates that you can start with, and then those can be modified in terms of colors and some other features to really make these your own. So there's quite a lot of variety in terms of what you can pick from. So with the advanced edition and enterprise edition, one of the distinctions is, we literally will completely custom design the entire site for you. Typically, we prefer working with your own design team. You might have an outside party that has designed your existing website, or you have someone to work with, but typically we like to get a design from someone, and then in the worst case scenario, we also can design a site for you, but that's not the focus of our business. Our team is typically focused on just taking an existing design and moving it to coreFORCE. But with the standard and basic editions and starter editions, you still have a lot of control in terms of what you have access to. And I know we have some customers that they like to get into the weeds, and they're not afraid of touching the techie side. Sometimes they enjoy it. So you do have access to the template file even within those editions. So if you or you have someone that is on the technical side, has done some website coding work. I say coding because you end up really having to play with code. Mosquito just flew by me. Good old New Orleans. So you have a lot of flexibility there, as well. So a lot of options in terms of that flexibility. One of the other things that you'll start seeing soon, currently we have our search bar that comes up. We actually are updating our search. I expect the new search to be fully available, I would say in May. And This is some exciting news for our customers. We've had the same search engine for many years, and it has some really good capabilities, but there's also some things that we wish it worked a little better, sometimes a little faster. So we've really spent a bunch of time revamping the entire search. If you're interested, reach out to us. You can get a preview of it. You can temporarily turn it on. I wouldn't take it live yet, but it's in this testing mode, and we're pretty excited about that. But even our base search,
Ezra,
again, oh, yeah.
You said May. You mean mid-May or end of May? Before the end of May?
Oh, we are already in May, huh?
Yeah, it snuck up on me.
May 2nd.
Yeah, I'm really hoping before end of May. I don't want to commit any sooner. I mean, it is. I don't know if we quote unquote announced it, but it is hidden away where you can actually turn it on. I think we're still doing some testing, so we're not. We don't necessarily want to tell everyone how to turn it on, but again, if we have some customers interested in just taking a peek, let us know. We are going to be looking for some input. The new search will also help us enable some of our larger customers who want to use a third-party search, right? So there's third-party search engines out there, and there's a few of them like Algolia and Unboxed and SearchSpring. With the way we designed our new search engine, we kept in mind that some of our bigger customers, they literally need that next level search, right? The one that has, the AI suggestions, and, as you type, it starts showing you results and all of those bells and whistles. Again, it's going to be a separate solution that you, the customer, would end up engaging with the search engine, and we will be offering integration into, one or two of them. I think is going to be the end result. But that's just another announcement of what's coming, and we're pretty excited about that. At the end of the day, the base search, works really well. We've got many customers that have taken websites from zero to tens of millions, and have been very successful with the built-in search. So, I know sometimes there's noise and comments and all of this, and at the end of the day, I can only refer to results. Right. And we've processed online, our customers processed hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of transactions in the last 12 months online. We've done well over $1 billion in the last 12 months of firearm transactions. So when someone starts telling me, hey, this search is causing us not to get orders, it's no. Sorry. That's unfortunately not reality. Because we've got numbers to prove otherwise. So again, everything can always be improved, right? If you're running a business, your store can always be improved, right? But at the end of the day, there's certain things that will result in actual more sales and certain things that won't, right? And if you use a retail store example, purchasing maybe different products that would attract more customers, that could do it. Buying new furniture, right? That looks better. I'm not saying it would or it wouldn't. I'm not a retailer, but just using that as an example. So I would use a car example, but I think we're overkilling the car example, right, Josh?
Yep.
Cool. I'm just making sure he's paying attention.
Josh, he just asked you if you wanted to get fired.
Yes.
Yep.
No.
I was going to say,
please no.
Don't tempt him,
Please.
Joel. Don't tempt him.
Please no. So Matt actually has a good question. He's asking if we set up with coreFORCE, will that help with how items are imported from our catalog? A lot of times, firearms and suppressors come in under categories like accessories and shopping totes, which can lead to spending even more time fixing everything.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. And again, I can only blame someone else, which I hate doing. But I was actually looking at our demo store, and I pulled up rifles, and I was so pissed off because I'm literally trying it now. So this isn't doing it, but on one of our demo sites, it came up with like 4 boxes of ammunition as the first 4 items. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So, data's hard, right? Just to be very transparent about this, and this is a news flash for anyone on here that's a customer. We don't like support tickets. We don't try to make people's lives harder. It's no joy for us to get tickets, right? So when we get a ticket with a map pricing issue, or we get a ticket with, Ezra, this ammo box is showing up under rifles, we're not like sitting there having fun trying to screw up your websites or your data. But it's impossible for us to literally police every distributor that we integrate into. And we try our best to use rules to properly categorize things. And, we have some people that work part-time on, trying to fix catalog issues and do that type of work. But at the end of the day, we're at the mercy of where the data is coming from. And overall, we've done a fairly good job. If I was rating ourselves, I wouldn't give us an A, but I think we're at a B plus, maybe, yeah, in terms of our catalog, right? And it does take a lot of work, and it does take a lot of effort, and you have to pay attention to your site. I mean, again, it's the fact that 4 boxes show up in rifles, is that going to prevent someone from buying an item that they're looking for? Probably not. At the end of the day, sometimes our customers get, in my opinion, a little too excited. And we understand it. It doesn't look good. But at the end of the day, when I go to a website as a consumer, I know what browsing pages. I'm not, let me see, how many rifles do you have? 3,500, cool. Let me see what's in stock. Between the distributors, I got 2,000 in stock, right? Oh, actually, no, 3,000 that are in stock. I'm hiding out of stock. All right, let me start browsing through. I'm bored, right? What consumer does that these days? Joel, you tell me. Help me out here. When you're on a website buying gun stuff, do you know pretty much what you're looking for?
Absolutely. I do. Did he freeze?
Completely lost signal.
I think he froze.
Yeah, you froze again.
I
thought my answer didn't suffice. I was like, oh crap, I'm about to get fired in public.
No, sorry. So I missed your answer. What was your answer, Joel?
I said I usually know what I'm looking for when I go to a website.
Do you feel that's most consumers?
Maybe not. Like if I go to Amazon, I pull on a thread, and then it, depending on the initial search, everybody already knows, right?
Yeah.
And then what's suggested after that, or what do you see after that, is what I think most consumers are faced with. I think that's why Amazon does.
I would venture, and maybe one day we'll be able to do some statistics on this, but I would venture to say that your search bar is where most site visitors are going.
Yeah.
Right? And they're typing something in there, right?
Yeah. That's the front door.
Is that a fair, do you feel that's
Absolutely.
a fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I know it's annoying sometimes, and it seems like, oh my gosh, the sky's falling, but it really isn't. When you have 200,000 products, yes, you're going to have some that are not categorized. Sometimes they're wrong categories.
Right.
And yes, we do our best to correct our catalog. But it's very rarely stopping any sales or slowing down your sales. And most of your sales, if you're a large internet retailer, they're coming from your outbound marketing work. They're coming from, being connected to things like Gun.Deals and AmmoSeek. That's where they're coming from, building an email list and targeting that list, right? That's where most of your sales are coming from. So, just something to keep in mind. By the way, Joel, how long do you want me to extend this? Because I know we've been going on for an hour.
I think we should make this maybe a 2-part series. And I think right now, since you just talked about what you talked about, is a good time to tell people about our special.
Yeah. Josh, take it away.
About our special?
I don't know.
Was that
Joel said there's a special.
Was that in my guide? I got a guide. It's not in the guide.
You guys,
I don't know. Let's see. Suddenly I see your title. Are you self-titled director of sales?
click on the
No, you gave me that one.
click on the link if you want to learn about our special. Right now, we've got a try coreILLA free for 30 days. We just talked about the importance of, compiling an email list and start targeting people and pulling people in your shop. A website, again, I don't know why people think just building a website is going to just, your crap's going to skyrocket. It's not. It requires work. Like this is the work that it requires, engage with the, customers and potential customers through email, text, social media. coreILLA allows all that on one platform. So you guys really need to try this out, free for 30 days. And then I think the pricing is very competitive after that 30 days. I can't see anything right now. We should have had Wits on here doing this.
I actually asked Wits last minute, but I think he may be off today. And
whatever.
Again, I think the main goal was just to talk a little about coreFORCE and where it sits and what the additions are.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. We can do a follow-up to this, and let's set a schedule, and definitely Joel, put it on my.
I'm not going to do it if you don't finish.
He's
not going to do it if you don't finish
again.
the sentence. No, we will put it on his calendar. This webinar will probably be in June, everyone, because we've got a show that I don't know if you guys know about. We're going to be in where are we going to be, Josh?
We are going to be at NRA mid-May.
No, we're going to be at another show.
Oh, next week, that's the NSSF marketing show.
Yeah. So we'll be there in Florida. So the week after that, I believe, I think we've got the Avalara webinar coming up in May. So this part 2 of coreFORCE will probably be in the beginning of June. So if you've got questions, you want to ask.
Yeah. So while everyone's asking some questions, I did promise just to give a glimpse on both of the back ends, if you guys are okay with me just going a little bit to show, what the capabilities are. And I'll keep this pretty quick. Am I coming across okay, Joel? Or
Yep.
Okay. So this is the back end of the starter, standard, and basic editions. And you'll see the menus pretty straightforward. You've got my account, website, contacts, orders, payments, and products and tools. So under tools, just to show you, I'll start with tools. Again, this is where these are tools for, for your website. This is where you can maintain certain preferences and security. And again, we go through and we provide you with training when you sign up with us, no matter what edition that you're using. In terms of products, this is where our product maintenance is. And I think, hey, I might be actually showing the advanced, hold on, that's my bad. There we go. So ignore that. Tools is actually only in the advanced. I apologize. So this is our standard, again, the starter, basic, and standard back end of the website. So it's a lot, as I said, it's a lot simpler. So basically we've got your contacts, which again, that's all of your contacts in there. If you're maintaining a mailing list, it's your customers. You've got orders, products, reports, and setup. So just to start again on the bottom, right? So setup is where you'll maintain your banners. You've got your categories, your distributor credentials, email setup, your image library. And this is where you can import your tax rates, right? We talked about being able to import tax rates. So that's where you do that. So then we've got, I don't know why my screen just went white. Let's try it again. Okay, so we've got also the menus, so you can maintain your different menu items, notifications. You can even create your own pages in these editions. So if you want to create just static pages of information, if you want to link a page to one of your coreILLA pages, because coreILLA has a really nice, easy web page designer for static pages, you can do that there. This is where you can maintain your tax rates manually instead of importing them. You can look at your search term synonyms. So if you want to maintain a list of synonyms like Glock 19, if they put G19, show me all results that are Glock 19, you can do that. Your shipping charges, you've got your site defaults, your state tax rates versus postal code tax rates. And this is where you can also look at your template for the site. So a lot of stuff on the setup side. Under orders, this is where you maintain your actual orders. This is where you'll see orders come through. I'm actually on the order dashboard. Very easy to manage and maintain orders. This is where you can also integrate into GunBroker. You've got loyalty program capability. You can pull up an order status report. You can set up promotions, and you've got a refund dashboard. And then, of course, you've got your different product maintenance. And again, pretty self-explanatory. We go through and provide you with a lot of training, but you'll see there's a lot here, and there's also reports. And again, under site defaults, just to show you, this is where you maintain all of your integrations, right? So this is where you've got your getting started and your store settings. You've got your different feeds for gun.deals, for WikiArms, for AmmoSeek. All of those are available for all the editions, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong, Josh. Your merchant account is set up here, different pricing rules, your map pricing rules, your Google Analytics, your locations, your email notifications, different integrations, including Credova, EasyPost for shipping, Credova for financing, Sezzle for financing, which is one of the newer ones, which is really, really good. It has actually increased visibility for some of our sites. People look for sites that have Sezzle. It's a really strong brand name out there. GunBroker integration, gun.deals, high cap deals, no fraud. And I'll just stop on this one. If you're new or newer to the coreFORCE world, fraud is high. Don't just ship product. Don't click the button. Do your due diligence and make sure these orders are not fraudulent. If you get a big optics order, we actually show in big red letters, don't ship this, right? We can't make it any more obvious. I know you get excited, you see a big order. If it looks too good to be true, it's too good to be true. I suggest looking into No Fraud. They're an excellent service. We have many customers that use whatever the fees are. It's, to me, worth every penny because they'll protect you. They'll protect you against chargeback. They'll identify fraudulent transactions. There's a reason why we integrated into them. They are super friendly to the industry, and I highly, highly recommend them. So that's basically the admin side. Again, if I go look on the admin side on, we'll go into the range demo store really quick. I'm not going to go through every menu option, but I just want to emphasize, here's one of the big differences, right, between these platforms. So again, it doesn't look like a lot of menu options, but let me just take you just the products, right? I mean, there are so many more options and settings and control that you can have. And it's literally what I say, not for the faint of heart. I mean, I can just go, menus upon menus, and we tell people, hey, just use shift, right? That will show you all of your menu options. If I'm looking for something specific, I can. So You know, if I want facility management, I can go here and look at all of my facility menu options. So again, this is where these two editions vary tremendously. For the advanced and enterprise editions, you know, there's no limitation in terms of what you can do with the system. You know, if you're an enterprise customer, we'll work on custom code, you know, for you. We can scope out whatever special things you may want or need in your site. And that's one of the things you can do when you're an enterprise customer with us. We do open up a lot more professional services because specifically working your way. But again, just having the advanced edition gives you, you know, I mean, this is just the events and menu. There's the facilities menu. So events are where you set up classes and track instructors and registrations and certifications and prerequisites. And I can just keep going and going and going and going because there's so much to it. But there's really, from a standpoint of, you know, if you don't need those features or you're not sure, just start with one of the simpler solutions, and it will serve you well until you're at a certain point where you need to grow. And then the beauty is it's just a matter of switching editions, and we make that pretty easy. It's pretty much seamless. So that just gives you an idea of on the back end, just so you don't have to sit there wondering, well, you know, what else do we get, or what are some of the features? And what we can do in the next webinar is absolutely go ahead and do a more deeper dive. And what we might want to do, Joel, is actually maybe we'll have a couple of webinars. Maybe we have one specific for ranges, coreFORCE for ranges, and maybe we do one that's just a general coreFORCE, you know, for gun stores. And make it more industry specific, and then we can jump into, you know, some of the more details on what some of the features are, because, you know, obviously there's a lot to our. This is why we spent this much time, and I promise I'll be in better internet on the next webinar. This is really frustrating. Awesome. Any questions that you guys think we need to address?
So Kenneth asked, after new search bar is launched, will search term synonyms still be needed a lot like it is now? The answer to that one, I assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, is going to be no. It's a lot more intelligent. Just in general, after playing with it. And Kenneth, you can email me directly. My email's right up above. I'll see what I can do. If you want to play with it, I can see about adding it onto your coreFORCE account.
Yeah, I think, Josh, what we should do is make sure we have a good demo site with it first before we turn it on for any specific customer that wants to look at it.
That works.
So yeah, let's you and I get together, and then we can make sure it's on one of the good demo sites, and that would be a good way to start showing customers before we put it on a site for them.
Okay.
I don't think we're quite ready there, and it should be a lot more intelligent, but at the same time, I think synonyms will come into play, but we'll get that answer for sure. I'll visit with Glenn and team, and we can definitely get the answer on that. Yeah, as far as I know, some of you were on here more wanting maybe an educational webinar. Make sure you visit our university. Joel, if you can post the university. If you want a quick way to learn coreFORCE, we've got a university that I think many people don't know we have. And it goes through a pretty comprehensive overview of, there's one for the starter standard, basic standard editions, and there's a separate one for the advanced and enterprise. And I highly recommend that if you want to learn some more specifics, don't wait for the next webinar. start with the university, and then you can also request some direct training.
Oh, I guess I need to be off of mute. Yeah, you froze, Ezra, and I was on mute while I was talking.
I know.
Hey.
I just switched to. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm actually in a Hyatt hotel.
Oh,
So
that's not
it's
good.
not like I'm in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know why I'm having so many. I switched to another one of their different Wi-Fi hotspots or routers. So we'll see. So I don't know if I came through on the last thing that I said. Did I get cut off or?
No, we were I think I have no clue.
Okay, that's okay.
I have no. I've got too many screens in front of me right now.
So in other words, you weren't paying attention
at all. Hey, so we're gonna be on the lookout for the email following up on this webinar. You'll have every link that you can think of within that email. Can you think of anything else? Also, respond to that email if you have anything in particular you want us to specifically cover in the next webinar. These things go a lot better when there's engagement, because Ezra could talk for decades on everything that coreFORCE does, but it's not going to help you if it's not something you need to know. So
yeah,
really,
and it seems like based on the registrations, and again, we're learning, right? So it seems like maybe, Joel, we need to do two things: is maybe divide webinars into two tracks. One which will be for existing customers, more of a training, open questions. I think maybe everyone would appreciate. And then we definitely had prospects on here that maybe they do want more of the overview and demo. So maybe it's a matter of really splitting these the webinars, and we can do a more advanced one. So I think what we can do is announce maybe two webinars. That one might be just, hey, an ongoing sales type webinar for non-customers, where customers are invited. We love having our customers, but we also, again, I value people's time. So what we can do is more of a State of the Union address on coreFORCE, and let's plan that after the Avalara, and we'll gear that towards customers, and we'll get into the detail. I'll make sure we unveil the new search, and also talk more about some of the other advancements that we've had, because there's been a lot of things that we've added that I think existing customers may not even be aware of, no fault of theirs. So so maybe that would be good to kind of split that up.
Okay.
But hopefully everyone was able to at least learn a couple of things from this. And I see there were a lot of good questions, and I think, Josh, you've been answering most of those.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got, I mean, the new hardware, there was a question about the new hardware, and I know, Josh, you answered that. So that's something we should plan a coreSTORE state address as well. So let's do a webinar, Joel, and we can get together on dates, but let's definitely plan out a separate coreSTORE webinar with the same intention, geared for customers, because we've been pretty silent in terms of all of the changes that have been going into coreSTORE. And I think we're a little long overdue. We've got some really exciting hardware that we unveiled at SHOT Show that is finally in the hands of some customers and being used. And there's a lot of things we can discuss there. So absolutely, I think it would be good to have a
nice
coreSTORE. Yeah.
Okay.
You're always looking for webinar ideas, so here you go.
Oh, we got plenty. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up. Hey,
do.
so since we're wrapping up, we finally got the song that you wanted to hear. I haven't heard this song yet, so you want to close with Coreware Flow?
This is my main producer, Carlo, was the one who produced this song. Just want everyone to know that.
Okay. Well, with that, I guess we can start rolling out.
Let's roll out, Joel.
I hope there are no bad words in this song. If there are,
Who cares?
Serving up solutions, we got the perfect game. In the firearm industry, we never miss a beat. From POS to inventory, we got it complete. See our rhythm like a bullet, we hit the target right. Merchant processing smooth, we never lose sight. Our system never breaks, steady and strong.
That is a lie, but okay.
Don't trust AI. Hey guys, we covered this in our last webinar. If you're not using this, I don't care if it's easy. You could literally have songs praising yourself in your range or your gun score. Like, that's about ourselves. You know, I mean, we live in magnificent times right now. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Did I change something? Oh, it's the music. It shocked me.
Dad's frozen again.
I'm back.
The music brought him back.
Merchant processing smooth, we never lose sight.
With that, I think we're done. Does anybody have anything else?
I do have something else, Joel.
Okay.
When's our next AI webinar?
It's going to be probably after. I don't know. I really don't know.
That's valid.
But that's good because we've got other stuff before that. So we'll have.
We do, but definitely, we are super excited to keep that series going, Joel. So.
Oh yeah, there's constantly stuff coming up.
I'd love you to cover generative AI and what that is and how that's different. That would be a great topic, I think.
I guess we need to. We're so close.
Yeah, there's a couple of stories about AI being a bit more sentient. Not truly, but it's kind of crazy what's going on. So
yeah. They're coming for you.
I haven't even been listening. They already got me. I've just been listening to the music. Haven't even been listening to you guys. Just enjoying this fire song.
Hey, all joking aside, I know we're making fun of the music, but 5 years ago, you would have paid $1,500 to $2,000 to have
At
something
least.
like this written and produced. And this probably took him 30 seconds to a minute. The one I did took about 45 seconds to a minute. You can literally spit songs out nonstop and have that stuff playing in your shop. I'm telling you, man, we can. The world that we live in is so freaking awesome. You guys need to start taking advantage of these tools. That's all I can say.
Use the tools.
Use the tools. If you don't, your competition will, and you won't be their competition anymore. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Ezra.
everyone.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Joel.
Good job, Joel. Thank you, Joel.
Good job, Joel.